what the fuck?
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of LOL What the Fuck, and I'm your host, Amaya Alexis. And today I have a couple guests with me. They're gonna introduce their names, their age, and their zodiac sign, so you know why they're so toxic. Go ahead. Bree, go ahead.
Oh. My name is Bree. I'm 24 and I'm a Capricorn.
Yes. My name's Lanaya. I'm 23 and I'm a Capricorn as well.
My name is Tanique. I'm 25 and I'm on the cusp of Gemini Cancer, but I claim Gemini.
And you guys, if you don't know, now you know. Again, I'm 22. Wow, I'm 22. I'm 22 and I'm a Sagittarius. So I feel like the mix is kind of crazy. No, Team Capricorn. What are y'all? Earth signs? Earth signs, water sign? No. What are you?
2 earth signs.
It depends on which one you're going with.
One is water and one is air. Jesus. And I'm a fire sign. We're gonna mix a little everything. So guys, today's episode is gonna be about friendship or whatever friendship means to you, and more details on that as we continue. So, okay, I guess to start it up, what do you guys consider to be a friend and a best friend?
To me, a friend is someone that is kind of like, someone you might hang out with, you might text here and there, you might go out with here and there, and you just know, like, you and that person have a relationship, like they're just like your friend, like you just do shit with them here and there, but it's nothing serious. A best friend to me is someone that is like literally like maybe your ride or die. It don't even have to be like a time thing, like, because my best friend, we've been friends for over 10 years, but I know people who have best friends that they might not have known for that long, but it's more so feeling like that person is your main friend and like that person will never switch up on you. Like, best friend holds that. Best friend is like, to me, like basically like your spouse, but as a friend.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just someone that will ride for you, you ride for each other, and you intend on being in their life like forever, like a spouse. So yeah.
Okay.
A friend to me is somebody who shows up for you. A friend to me is somebody who's there for you, whether it be in person or just emotional support when you're going through things. If you are my friend, I'm never expecting I can't come to you about something that's going on. So that's what a friend is to me.
I think that your definition, I guess, closely resonates with what I think a friend is. But you didn't mention the best friend part, so I guess I'll mention that part. I think that a best friend, I don't know, because like what makes people distinguish the difference between a friend and like a best friend? And I'm trying to like think of it from like my perspective with my situation and my best friend. We've been friends for over 10 years. That's the person that I can go to regarding whatever. She understands me. We've literally never had, let me not say that, but we'll get into that another time. I was gonna say we've never had like a big falling out, but we actually did have a big falling out, but that's the first time we've ever like fell out and haven't spoken to each other. Why did we fall out?
I'm gonna add something.
Go ahead.
A friend is also somebody that you should be able to come back from a fallout with.
Mm-hmm.
If you cannot make it back from a fallout with somebody, that they probably weren't really a friend. I've had friendships where we can have a disagreement and quickly move on to the next page, and it doesn't become us not talking to each other for a week or throwing any type of social media subs at each other.
I completely agree. We stopped talking. I want to say we stopped talking in like February, March-ish, and we started talking again in June. That's
Okay,
that's
not that bad.
That's the longest we've ever gone without speaking to each other. Even if we have like a disagreement or whatever, it's never more than a few hours to just calm down and like
Reevaluate.
I've never like got into a screaming match with her. I've never disrespected her. I don't even curse at her because I guess I hold her in like super high regard, and she doesn't like take me to that place where like I get mad and I get aggressive with her ever.
I'm gonna add something too. I feel like a friend, like a true friend, like is never gonna, like, if there's an issue that you have with them, and let's say it's like serious, where like you feel like it's gonna hinder the friendship in some way, I feel like true friends like literally work through issues together. Like there's no like, okay, I don't care about, you know what I'm saying? Like there's no I don't care about this, that, and the third. Like they're gonna work through it. And if they see that you're really bothered about something, like I feel like a true friend checks in, you know, make sure shit is okay and see how they best can help. Like they like genuinely care about your feelings, your well-being or whatever. And they value your friendship so much that, you know, the thought of losing it like makes them sad or is like important to them, or enough for them to really be like, I gotta take this seriously.
I have a question for everybody, I guess. Why are you laughing?
Brittany.
What is the difference between friendship and like a boyfriend and girlfriend kind of relationship? And I don't want to use the word relationship because I feel like they're both relationships, but what is the difference? Because I've heard people like, you know, say things like, you'll fall out with your friend but you won't fall out with that man, or that's like you'll run that man down but you won't run your friend down. And what do you think the difference is?
The difference between that dynamic is, one, there's a physical layer that you're not reaching with your friends, so people tend to definitely align themselves with the person that they're laying down in their bed with and being physical and intimate with at the end of the day. Not to say that makes it right, but I think the difference is the physical aspect of it, and just the fact that certain friends have different dynamics, and your man is like your man, and that's somebody that you're gonna be laying down in bed with, and you could tell like everything too. And a friend is kind of different. I feel like you should be able to trust your friends with information, but like to a certain extent, you know that there's certain things you're not telling your friend, and that your significant other like kind of knows you more in and out. But at also certain points, there are times that you've had a friend that has way more value than that man has to you, that you should definitely be able to see. And sometimes your people that are dealing with other people, the other person is not even that great, and you actually have a great friendship, but you could care less because you're so focused on that person that you're sleeping with and you're dealing with. So you're putting them over solid friendships and good friendships.
I definitely agree with like a huge difference being like a physical aspect. Like obviously you're gonna get like sex and more physical attention from a significant other than a friend. But honestly, apart from that, I don't feel like it's that much of a big difference. The same way how loyalty comes into play with relationships, it comes into play with friendships. Like, I feel like literally like your friend is supposed to be like
your rock.
Like your rock. Like I don't want to say your partner as in like you got to do everything with them and stuff, but like, and right now I'm really speaking about more so like best friend or like really close friends. But
I agree.
They're supposed to be like someone that you can lean on in case, you feel me, your significant, like let's say you fall out with your significant other, like you have your friends, like they're supposed to be there for you, and they're loyal, they show that they care about you, they, you know, take things that you like and dislike into consideration. Like they literally should know you in and out just like a partner would.
I don't know. I feel like for me personally, it is harder to, I mean, yeah, it is definitely true that you're really not gonna leave that nigga, but I feel like it depends.
Who said that?
No, meaning like you're quicker to leave your friend than you're gonna leave that nigga.
Certain women.
9 times out of 10,
women, because
you're going to quickly leave your friend. Bro, there's like this post that's just like, oh, that nigga done cheating on you mad times, but you're mad 'cause I didn't come to your birthday dinner. Yeah. And that's a lot of people felt
because
that.
we expect way more loyalty from our friends than we
I was
from
gonna
them
say
do
that.
from men.
I feel like, so
laying
is
down
it
in bed with
because
them.
you hold your friends to a higher standard than you hold the person that you're laying down with?
Actually, I don't even know. Like, I think you feel that your friends, and maybe that's like kind of morbid, but you feel like that you can replace them. They're
That's
very much
not what
more
it is for
replaceable.
me. That's not
Like, you'll be like, you know what, fuck that
Solid
bitch.
friends are hard
We're
to
done.
come by.
Solid friends are hard to come by, but once you feel like that she's not solid, you're done.
That's true.
A nigga, though, you're gonna give a nigga some grace. A man can make mistakes. Even if it's not even like you just talking to men, you're talking to whomever you're talking
to.
to.
Somebody's vagina ain't a simple mistake to make.
No, just that's very true.
Compromising my health.
But that's what they will say, like, oh, niggas will make mistakes, and there's something in there that you really, I think you could love your friends, but the way you love your significant other is not the same way you love your friend.
And the way you can be blind over the things
100%.
that they do.
100%.
Because there's nothing that your friend is doing that's making you like not look at, you know.
Yeah.
You could be like, oh, but his head is so good and his sex is so good and I'ma forgive him and you know he buys me this and that. Your friend, when she do something wrong, all right, bitch, you pissing me off.
I don't
you
know.
ain't even doing
I don't
that.
know. Maybe it's just my like. I think that
I don't feel like that. But.
maybe it's just my obsessive nature with my friends, but like we are obsessed with each other. Like we love each other. One of my homegirls or whatever. It's a sticky situation when it comes to like, I guess describing the nature of our friendship. But I tell her all the time, like I love you. Like I love you so much. And I really mean that shit. Like my best friend, granted, I tell her I love her all the time. But one of my other homegirls, like out of the blue, like I'll text her like I love you so much because I literally love her so. And like I don't know, like I love my homegirls. Granted, we have our falling outs, but I think that I'm just like an easygoing person overall. Like I try to understand, or I like make excuses for people, and that's an issue that I have.
I do that a lot.
That's an issue that I have, but I also try to look at situations like people that I care about, like for example, my friends. They wouldn't do anything to intentionally hurt me. So if something happens that you know I feel a way about, like they didn't do it on purpose, so I can hear them out, or you know whatever the case is.
See, that's where me and you are different because, like, at first I'll make excuses for people and I'll be like, okay, they won't do anything to hurt me. But then if I feel like it's a continuous thing,
Then I'm checking.
then something in me just takes shit personal. I'm a person that takes shit personal, and I don't like feeling like, you know, like someone doesn't value me the same way I value them. I'm a very sensitive person. So once I feel like I'm bending over backwards in a friendship or I'm doing shit that I feel like you won't do the same for me, I'm done. Because it's just like, I see this friendship, like you said, I love my homegirls, like, feel me, I love my friends so much. So me realizing that you don't love me on that same level or feeling like that or making me feel like that hurts me a lot, you know? I feel like whether it's platonic or romantic, I'm gonna do the same exact thing. If you're doing something weird to me or doing something wrong to me or doing something I don't like, I'm gonna let you keep doing it until I think that's my problem too. Like I do have a problem. You better stop. You have to leave. Nobody's playing with you. This is not the time. Whether it's platonic or romantic, I'm gonna let you keep doing what you're doing until I hate you or like I'm over it. Because so over it.
Yeah, because it's just like I think my problem is like I was trying to say before, it's like I have a problem maybe like detaching myself from people. Like once I find myself to be attached to you or I feel like you're important or valuable in my life or like just emotionally like I care about you and then you do something weird to me, it's just like, all right, first of all, now my head is fucked up because just like I'm a type of person that already has mad guards up. And so once I already have mad guards up and I actually let it down to bring you into my peace, and then you start doing some weird shit to me, we're done. And that's when all the red flags are gonna come in. It's like now I'm also hating on myself because like, damn, I actually trusted this person. Whether like I said, it's romantic or platonic, even though we're technically this episode talking about platonic relationships, but I feel like it goes the same way.
I'm really trying my best to be serious right
now. Come here.
Make
Make your guest appearance and go.
The thing about that is you'd probably be misunderstood by the time you blew up because people be like, what the fuck, where is this coming from? No, you've been pissing me off. I just didn't communicate it.
It's crazy because me and her had a whole situation
like
literally like this, and I'm just like, where the fuck is this coming from?
And
because
sometimes it just be like,
I definitely think I definitely think that you do that a lot. I was gonna say that's your issue, but I feel like that sounds mean.
No,
but I definitely feel like you do that a lot. You bottle things up and you don't communicate about it until like
it's too late.
All the person gotta do is step on your toe
Yeah. And now it's up.
And then guess what?
Because you stepped on my toe, but let me tell you all the other shit that you did before. Now you stepped on my toe.
And
but you step on my toe was my last straw. Like, nah.
You don't really get misunderstood, because they can like gaslight themselves to being like, nah, cause this came out of nowhere. I didn't do that.
Yeah.
Like, she's like, cause that's what I would do.
Yeah,
I'd be
that's
like,
what I would do too.
Where
That's
this coming from?
literally.
I've been a good friend. Like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, literally.
Like that's what goes on in that other person's
Because
head.
I feel like, you know, in that person's head, it feels like, you know, we good. And then
And where did this come
where
from?
you just
Came
like now I feel attacked because it's just like, damn, like you was writing down all this shit you didn't like about me.
And it's not even that. Like, and that's the thing though. It's like it's not even like that, but maybe it is.
It
It's
is.
how it comes off.
It is.
It's like
how
a tally
It
mark.
is.
Yeah.
It's how it comes
But
off.
it's just like,
But
okay.
it's a hidden tally mark because you don't let them know that.
That's
it's
the
a
thing
tally.
though. What about the thing
Do
about
you
me
guys
though?
do that?
She did, like, she's done that to me before.
No, but I'm saying,
Besides,
okay,
like,
making it
I-
about signs.
we are
This
Capricorn.
guy
Be very
that I know,
vocal.
he's
No.
a Capricorn, and
I do that.
he has a notes app.
I don't do that.
Oh, he's waiting
No,
on
you
it.
know, you know what I do? I let them know what's bothering me.
Yeah.
And
It's
then,
weird.
and like immediately, and I keep on letting them know, and then I start making my tally.
No, he lets
And
them
then I-
know, but he also records it at the same
Nah.
time.
He's
I
going to
let
have
them
time
know.
to stop playing with him.
Listen, I try to. This how I do shit. If I feel like somebody's bothering me, like something in the friendship is bothering me, I'm gonna address it. If you express you don't care or whatever, or you just being kind of nonchalant, I'm gonna leave it alone. I might address it again. I'm gonna keep telling you, I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you. I'm gonna
not
sit
next.
there and I'm gonna write out everything that I need to say to you. Not like full fleshed out, but just like bullet points, like this.
Because we don't want
And
anybody
push,
to be
you know, to
confused.
try to have a conversation. Once you show me you don't want to have no conversation, all right, now I'm done, because it's just like I'm trying. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm letting you know what the issues are, and now I'm trying to sit down and actually.
Sometimes the conversation is held and no accountability can be taken on the other side.
Yeah.
I'm talking to you and you're not even trying to.
You're
own
not even
up to some of the
understand
things
that
we had a problem with.
exactly.
So this is pointless.
I know I have to stop doing that and like stop, you know, like I guess tally marking my issues with people. But it's kind of just like, I don't know, like I try to be a very forgiving person. So it's like somebody does something to me, okay, I'm gonna let it go. People make mistakes, I'm gonna just let it slide. I'm not even gonna bring it up and say, oh, it's a problem, because truthfully, my next issue is like, okay, if I tell you, oh, I didn't really like that you did X and Y and Z, and someone not understanding what I'm talking about, or trying to gaslight me like it was nothing serious. Because once I have to talk to you about something, it's serious. I don't talk about shit that I feel like is not for real. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't just bring up petty shit. No, like, something really has to get to me for me to say some shit about it. So once you already be like, oh no, like, I don't really think it was that serious, or you try to just make it seem like shit wasn't that deep, we're done.
I was about to say, maybe that's somebody that you don't need in your life.
Let's see.
And I agree with that. But I think that me just creating tally marks avoids the automatic elimination of the person.
But would you not rather just get them out of here as soon as possible?
Or communicate.
I have to continue to talk to somebody until I hate them.
It's the
Why
fact
the
that I
fuck-
know you're dead ass.
Hold on, I gotta take this, because who the fuck is bringing me down? Hello?
You gotta leave this in.
Yes?
It's
What
Lunari.
are you
That's
talking
what
about? That I texted you that like literally almost a month ago, and it was a prank for a game night. I was playing text or drink. Why you still care about a fucking text? I don't even know who this is. What?
laughing on her.
Listen, let me tell y'all this story. I was playing truth or drink, right? No, truth, text or drink. The text pulled a card and it said, let anybody pick somebody in your phone, and you have to text something, the card to them. The card said, get a nose job. He's saying that, he wanna, what you say?
I don't know, because I owed you like,
What do you owe me? What are you talking about? 70 bucks.
That's why I'm thinking.
Who is this?
I'll get a job. Jay.
Jay who?
Have you ever lost a best friend or a friend?
Okay, I guess I'll tell my situation.
Go ahead. But you
Um,
didn't lose her though. Y'all back together.
No, I thought that we were done, like for good. I went to Miami when I shouldn't have gone to Miami because I was dealing with like severe mental health issues.
Miami really be the
And
problem.
I was the problem. Like, I'm gonna admit that. I was the problem that trip. I was lashing out. I was being rude. I was being disrespectful to
I
everybody.
really can't imagine you.
And that's because I don't see a need to get like that.
I don't think we would receive it.
Or I've just evolved. I don't know. But I was the problem. I was being rude. I was being nasty. And like I said before, like, there's somebody I've never been nasty with. But I was, like, cursing at her and being, like, rude. And it was literally, I'm just going to take accountability. Like, I needed help. And I didn't get the help that I needed at that moment. Instead, I was on a vacation. And I think I ruined the vacation for everybody. But I also think that they misconstrued something. I tried to express to them, like, you know, what I was dealing with. And I was saying, like, you know, sometimes I just want to turn my phone off and I don't want to speak to anybody. And they took that personal. I'm saying they because it's my best friend and my other homegirl that's involved in the situation. And they took it personal, like I didn't want to be friends. And, excuse me, after we got back to New York, that was it. Like, they thought I needed space and I didn't want to be friends. And I was just like, no, that's not what I wanted. But I also got tired of explaining myself. So I was just like, oh, you don't want to be friends? And that was that. Like, there was no closure, no nothing. And then there was a situation where she texted me, like, hey, how are you? And I screenshotted it and I sent it to somebody else, but I accidentally sent it to her, so it made it look like I was talking shit. When in all actuality, not even, I would never talk shit about her.
Okay.
I was literally sending it to somebody like, you know, the last time that we spoke, blah, 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 blah. Like, is it weird that she's texting me?
Well, why would they be weird?
Because in my mind, she didn't want to be friends. What are you texting me for if you didn't want to be friends and you had all this negative shit to say
But
about
you know
me?
that was your best friend.
At the point, I didn't know how to receive the fact that I was the problem. It took me a while to understand, like, yo, you were the problem. So it just felt like attacks and jabs that she was throwing at me. Again, it was my fault. So, you know, we had a little falling out. I think we exchanged some words after that. And we didn't speak for a minute. But during that entire time, like, I went to therapy. I was getting the help that I needed. And I came back around. And I just feel like our relationship is way better now. Yeah. I'm just a better person to people overall. Like, I'm not that nasty with people anymore. So that's the only real falling out that I had.
Because it's fresh.
I've definitely lost friends before. When I was a teenager, I didn't really know how to like express myself. So I used to have a sub problem, and I used to feel away, and like it was to a point like I'll throw a sub with my grandmother. She don't even got Facebook.
I was like,
Like,
what
I
you mean a
just-
sub?
Like a subliminal message,
Okay, got
like
it,
literally, like I like if I thought she was being funny to me, like I
at your
will,
grandma?
like I would I'll tell you about anybody. I would be like, if something happened, I got in an argument with my aunt who's kind of close to my age, I'll go on Facebook and I'll be like, this is why I can't fuck with motherfuckers, like this is why family don't mean, like I used to just run to social media about problems, and that is how I've ended friendships before, just because I could not speak up and talk to somebody like a human. Imagine your friend goes on social media and that's how you have to see that they're upset, or that, you know, they're throwing direct jabs at a situation that is close to home
Very
with you
immature.
and stuff like that. So it's just like, girl, why you couldn't just talk to me? Oh, I'm done with you. Why are you doing this? I'm good. And it took me a while to like really like curve my feelings and just learn how to write somebody directly in Messenger. Why am I? You're not a man. This is what people do to their man. Throw subs and share little word posts.
Why
and
did they do that?
I don't know. I don't do it anymore because I know men be just looking like, yeah, okay.
I
But
think
it's
that's
just
what
like-
it is. You gotta take a nigga that don't give a fuck.
And
To
then he
stop
finally,
those subs.
a nigga that really is gonna just look at your post and not even give you the reaction that
Nigga
you
don't
want.
even watch it.
Yeah, exactly. Don't even watch
Watch
your
it.
story. Give you your shit just on the
People
timeline
like,
for
oh.
24 hours. You know,
Oh, you
you go
posted
through
something
it.
about me?
You don't even see
Oh,
it.
I wasted my time, huh? Never
Literally,
mind.
literally.
Nah,
A man that doesn't indulge in those kind of things, and I just had to learn how to not do those type of things, and I also just had to learn people's place in my life. I'm having falling outs with people because I'm thinking that you're one role in my life, and you're just, there's different levels of friendship. Some friends are just good for yoga. Some friends are just good for the brunch on the weekend. Some friends is good for the nightlife and the hookah. You cannot get mad when somebody don't answer your calls or do certain things, because sometimes you're in that section for them. You have to just
I
learn
agree.
where to meet people at.
I think it's a part of growing up too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you stop taking things so personal.
Exactly. She's like, where did I start?
I've definitely lost close friends before.
I want to hear the juicy shit. I want to hear the juicy falling outs.
Okay, we don't talk
I
about
mean,
that.
okay.
So you get to talk about.
Because I could talk about
You can
somebody
talk
that
about-
left me on the corner
You
in
have to talk
Cali
about one
to
story,
be with a man.
and it has to be your best story. We don't got all the time.
I feel
Right.
like mine was lame though.
That was your best friend. That meant a lot to you.
It did. I love her.
All right, so for me, like, I had really two close friends, like in college.
Sorry,
am I
too
am,
shady.
What? Okay.
Sorry, I was too
All right,
shady
so-
with that beginning. Can we
Which
cut that?
a really, I don't want to say a really bad falling out, but it's something that it honestly
fucked
still
up.
hurts to this day, and it's fucked up. And it's just like, feel me, like I just had to come to terms with it. But basically, I had really two close friends in college, both of which were my separate friends until I introduced all of us together and created a trio. In the friendship, I always felt like I was like the other person, and that basically like I was being used for my kindness, or like for what I have, or for what I will let rock or whatever. And feel me, like I let shit slide because those was like my mans or whatever. These are people that I live with. These are people like I see every day. I'm away from home with. Like, we're the only people from like from Brooklyn in a new space. Like, so we cling together, you understand? So basically, long story short, college was good, but it's just after college where shit started to get left. I would always like mention, you know how I feel like, you know, people like they were leaving me out, or they would hang out without me and shit like that, or like just like little shit that I would keep, like, okay, you out with her and you're posting her like that, but when y'all out with me, y'all don't post me. Just shit like that just makes me feel like, you know, like, why it feels like you're moving weird to me, and like even other friends ask me like, oh, yo, you still cool with so and so?
One of them robbed me.
Like, it's just too much. And it's just like, I don't know, like when I realized that like I was really the other in that friendship,
Yeah.
It was
I
a
just
trio.
like it was a trio.
Yeah,
Like, when
you
I
introduced
realized
the two
that
people.
I mean, and I expressed this multiple times how I was feeling, and they basically was telling me like, you know, it's all in your head, it's all in your head. Like, it's not even like that. But time and time again, their actions would show me otherwise. My mom asking me if I'm still close with them. Friends is asking me, oh, you still friends with so and so? You don't be with them. She be with her. You know what I'm saying? So like, it just got to a point where I was fed up of basically complaining about the same thing, and I just decided to distance myself. And us being as close as we were, I thought that me distancing myself wouldn't cause an issue, but, you know, would kind of make niggas be like, you know, what's going on with Bree? But instead of that, niggas just pushed me to the side completely, started cropping me out of pictures, not talking to me, didn't even wish me happy birthday. Your ex-boyfriend is wishing me happy birthday, you're not wishing me happy birthday, or wishing me happy birthday in private because you don't want other people to see that you're loving me out loud. I don't have time for that. You feel me? Like, if we are close ass friends and we basically live together, and y'all basically wearing my clothes, we going out, I'm paying for shit, or, you know, like, just shit like that, like, that's just fucked up. Like, don't sit here and use me. And it's crazy because so many of my friends would tell me, like, I don't really know how I feel about this group of friends for you. It don't really seem like they're your friends. And I would just continue to make, like, excuses for them because, feel me, they don't know the them that I know, the them that I was living with, the them that I was doing literally everything with. So, you know, I just had to boss up and just let that go. And it did hurt, but like I said, if you gotta crop me out of a picture and not tell me happy birthday or love me in secret, then clearly we was never friends. And I just had to learn the hard way.
How long ago did this happen?
This is actually
This year?
very recent, like
This year?
last year, because it's 2023 now.
Oh wow!
So last
I don't know
year.
why I thought this was
But
like,
the friendship,
no,
but the
very
friendship
recent.
was from like 2017 to 2021. No, to like 2022.
I don't know
basically.
why I thought this was like your 18, 19-year-old
No,
self.
No,
No,
that
very
you were
new,
talking
very
to.
very
recent.
very new.
Because I was gonna say, like, you know, it sounds like a situation where you decided that it wasn't for you.
Yeah, and I just
maybe they're meant to be friends, and that's fine. But you don't fit in that equation because
Exactly.
you guys aren't compatible.
exactly, and it's not that we
It's
were
not
compatible
compatibility.
because
It's
like
just like
we
they
were
blend
compatible.
together
We were
more.
compatible at one point. but it's just like
favoritism.
yeah.
I mean,
It's
no,
like
it
that wasn't even a
trio
grow apart.
shit.
It was a favoritism.
I think that's a
because
part
The
of growing
trio
apart.
group, everybody, there's always gonna be that two that's
Because that's a part of growing
apart
apart.
too.
Because sometimes
two that's closer.
if your two mentals are clicking more than the three, you're growing apart. You're gonna go
I don't
aside
know.
from
I don't know
from
how
the
I feel
person.
about that because in my friend group or
'Cause you're
whatever,
in a
we're a
trio.
trio, and I feel like there's times that I click more with one person, I click more with the other person,
And that's
but
how
we
it
don't
was at
like
first. We would
leave
bounce
each
off
other
of each
out.
other.
You know, like
But
don't just go to
it
a lounge
became
and not invite the other
It became
person.
and leaving each other out.
I'm not
type
gonna
shit.
lie. I think in your trio, there's a potential for it to become that.
But you
But
have
I don't.
awareness.
But maybe I don't
if
care.
you keep a level of
I
awareness,
don't know.
you'll not
Because,
allow it
okay,
to happen.
I haven't really been around my homegirls. Like I've literally been taking time to myself. Like I don't want to go out right now. I don't want to really hang out. Like I'm trying to get my shit together. And they seem like they understand it now. And it's like they've been outside. And I've heard people say like, oh, like where's Tanique? Like you guys don't hang out with her anymore. And it's just like that's a part of the reason why I don't have social media. Like it's fucking social media. You don't know what's going
I'm
on
not gonna lie,
behind the
social
scenes.
media definitely.
But
played
it
a-
doesn't bother me.
how I
Like
was
if they're
feeling.
hanging out alone by themselves, it doesn't make me feel like they're less of my friend. Like I love my
If it's a
homegirls.
constant thing though, that's what it is.
But
the thing
because
is, she don't want to go
I
out.
don't want to be
you
there.
You wanted
You
to be
wanted
there.
to be
So
there.
it's just
She
like,
doesn't
hold
care
up,
to be there.
what's going
Yeah,
on
it's
here?
not bothering
And then the whole thing of
And we all have different. Like I don't know. The friendship is different. Like my best friend, like I said, we've been best friends for over 10 years. Like that's my homegirl no matter what. And then my other homegirl, like we'll go like days without texting, and she'll randomly call me, and it's like nothing is off. Like nothing's different.
And I have friends like that.
In that relationship a little bit.
I literally have friends like that. And I was gonna say too, like, fuck, I lost my train of thought. Hold on, give me a second. Oh, I was gonna say that in that friendship too, I felt like certain parties cared more about the other parties, because I feel like, you see how I distanced myself because I wasn't feeling like valued in the friendship. If one of the other two did that to the other, I promise you they was reaching out and fixing it.
Mm-hmm.
But because it's me, they
They
don't
didn't
care.
value you,
They
and
were-
that's
yeah.
fine.
They were ready to just
that
let
wasn't
you
a friend group
distance
for you.
yourself.
And it's just like, I just
yourself
had to
away.
learn that the hard way, and I'm like, all right, fuck these
It
bitches,
sucks
like,
and it hurts, but that wasn't the friend group for you.
yeah. It's sad, but for me, it's like,
I'm sorry, I didn't realize that it was so recent. So you're probably still dealing with like
honestly,
the emotions.
I
of
am
it.
still dealing with it, but it's just like, fuck
Especially
it
when you
now.
believe people are
Like,
your friends.
I finally like block
Got over
bitches,
it, like,
unfollow
not got over
bitches.
it, but like moving forward with it.
Feel me? Like, I'm moving forward with it now because I'm really accepting it for what it is. Once you don't tell me happy birthday, and I literally
That's
was
a serious
at your
thing for
birthday
you.
trip,
Yeah.
literally, like,
Spending bread for you.
spending bread at your
Showing out
birthday
for
trip,
you.
literally, like, your most recent birthday, and you can't even tell me happy birthday, and your
That's
ex-boyfriend that's not even in your life texts me happy
6 months
birthday.
past. It's literally like exactly.
You can't even tell me happy birthday, and you're cropping me out of pictures.
Yeah.
And the thing is too, I'm seeing the shit, and I'm like, yo, am I bugging?
And asking you.
Every time I see,
and telling you you're
every time I
bugging.
see this picture, I feel like you cropping me out. Am I bugging? Nah, you not.
Both
For
face.
what? What did I do to you that you cropping me out of pictures? Like, what
Just
is really
lying.
the issue? Because all I really did was distance myself, and if you was my friend,
You didn't.
you would have checked in and said, what the fuck is going on? Because if it was the other friend that did that, you would have checked in with her. And it's crazy because the other friend is a shitty friend.
So do you feel like trios work?
No.
Yeah.
It's always gonna
I've
be.
been
You
in a
believe yes.
trio. That shit
So
was very
happy.
scarring for me.
I've been in.
Especially when the two friends was friends. You was in one where they met. I was in one where they already knew each other and I had conjoined. That was really
That's
getting
a
treated
bad
like the
one.
bottom
That's
of
a bad
somebody's
trio.
fucking
That's a bad
shoe.
trio, yeah.
Terrible.
I just think that I don't know. I guess the dynamics of a trio can be different because I've heard like horror stories about them, but like that's not my story, and I don't know if it's
Every
just.
friendship are different.
I don't know if it's just me because I can definitely see an outsider looking in like they're always leaving you out, blah 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 blah.
And it's
when I come
embarrassing.
around, it's a time. Like I
That's what matters.
don't feel left out. I'm the one
But
that
that's the thing,
decided
though.
to withdraw myself to work on myself.
Your friends have given you the comfortability
And the
the confidence,
validation.
and the validation to feel like
You don't
no
have
matter
to be
what,
there.
you don't gotta be there.
Like, okay, it made me think about it. When you said that you distanced yourself and they didn't even reach out. Like, when I distanced myself because, I was going through, like, depression or whatever, they reached out like,
because they
do you
actually
not want to be
genuinely
my
care
friend
about
anymore?
you.
You don't hang out with me, blah, 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 blah. And I had to explain to them, and I think that this is a big thing with friendships too. I had to explain to them, like, I don't love you any less. I don't care about you any less. But I'm going through shit right now, and I can't. I'm
be the
sorry.
friend that you want me
Like,
to be.
if this is the friend that you want me to be, I cannot
be there
give
for
it to you
now.
right now.
Yeah.
And I understand
And
if
that's
you want to
fair.
leave the friendship because of that, but it's just something that I can't do. I need to get my shit together because I'm literally like drowning right now.
I don't think that's enough for some people though. Like,
And that's when you have to decide, like, is the friendship worth it or not? Like, if you can't take somebody prioritizing themselves to get themselves together to be a better friend to you and a better person to themselves, maybe y'all don't need to be friends.
It was an interesting scenario. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about a time that I lost a friend. Basically, both of our families knew each other for a while. We weren't friends for a while, not on some like beef or anything like that, but we just always used to see each other and never hang out. And then one day we was just like, yo, you young and poppin', I'm young and poppin'. Let's like hang out. Let's like be cool with each other. So yeah, basically like we both cute, we both beautiful, like let's be friends. We already know each other for so long. So we started hanging out, we started becoming friends. This is the person that I have had a falling out with in the past just because, and they was not able to take accountability and they kind of wanted me to apologize to them and I overlooked it. I don't really like people that don't know how to take accountability and always expect people to kneel down and just apologize to them all the time. And there's really, yeah, my hair is acting up. There's really some people like that. But let's get past that, right? We got past that disagreement. We ended up still being friends. She's a hairstylist. So that's the most I'm going to disclose, right? She's a hairstylist and she takes a lot of clients. And I started to notice that she had this, I was talking about a trio group that I was in, and she does one of the girls who I was in a trio group with that we had a really bad falling out in high school. Now, I don't really follow up with high school beef. I don't really care. I'm 23. I'm grown now. But when you do talk about somebody that I love, that's a problem. And this person was friends with somebody that has spoke badly about my mom, has spoke about something very personal that happened to my mom. So that carries with me forever. So her being a hairstylist and doing her hair, I know that this is not a personal friendship. So I was just like, you know what? I let her know the situation, but I was just like, hey, this girl, just let me know if you ever have an appointment the same day as me and her. Those kind of reasons. I'm not telling you to not do her hair, anything like that. That's not my out of bounds. Now, where it kind of gets to me is when you're posting that person more and more. I see that person a lot on your page now. It seems like that person is a loyal client, cool. But if I follow your hair page and I'm going through your stories and I'm clicking through multiple stories of that person, it starts to feel like I'm following them. I know their life. I know the gender of the child that they're having. I know how they baby shower look. I know how all these things is going down. So I'm like, yo.
You don't want to know.
And I don't want to know. So I was just like, yo, I'm not really feeling this. And I didn't really know how to approach it because at the end of the day, this is their money and their business. So how do I really go about it? And at the same time, I'm also trying to be passive and just a good friend overall and not do too much. So I really sat down and thought about it, but I decided to unfollow her business page. I still have her following, I still follow her normal page. I still have her on TikTok. We still share locations. And I ended up calling her and I wanted to talk about it. To just tell her like, hey, I don't really want to see that person, but I'd rather have you on your personal page so we could still, you know, just not the business page. I don't want to see multiple stories of a person I'm not cool with. It's just not what I'm here for. So I was on the phone, and you know when you're on the phone, you don't just spring something. So you're talking, hey, how are you, da-da-da. She said, I'm going to call you back. No problem. Never called me back. 2 days later, I still didn't have a call back from her. I'm just like, all right. Not thinking nothing of it because I didn't do nothing with no malice in my heart. So I just happened to go and text her, and I see that she stopped sharing her location. I go on Instagram, I see that she unfollowed me from her regular page. I was on the phone with Bree as this all was happening, and me being the communicator that I am, I wanted to immediately call her while I was on the phone with Bree. I was like, yo, I'm about to go call her. And Bree told me not to call her. And I was just like, once again, I'm going to thank you so much that she told me not to call her. She showed you what it is. Literally, like, why and I really had to think about that. Is right in front Somebody of your that would face, jump the gun like that. You don't know if I unfollowed it by accident. I just got off the phone with you. You didn't even think to call me. Ask me like, yo, bro, did you mean to follow my business page? You didn't think to nothing. I have you on every other platform. I'm not moving funny. We was just talking.
what would make you jump the gun like that?
And
that's
where
my whole
it comes
thing.
in, that if somebody is your friend, you need to, not you need to, but I think that is essential that you see things from a point of view like, this is my friend would not
Wouldn't do that.
intentionally try to hurt me.
I feel like
Not even trying to hear me out, not even trying to understand maybe why I might have done it or anything. I just feel like
I think that situation was too abrupt. Like, I think there's a missing piece in this scenario. Like what she did, I don't think she did that of her own mind.
that's the same thing you said. Oh my God, that's the same thing. I think that she's
Like,
cool with that girl.
Yeah, and I think it
that
was
you
just like,
spoke to that girl. For
yeah,
sure.
like it was on some like,
Oh, why
maybe
did
y'all
this
was on
weird
the
bitch
phone,
do this?
or like and then it's somebody that she don't like. You're somebody that she don't like. So I don't think that was just her own.
Because the
own
way
thing.
the movement was, it was just like, this is like so weird.
Yeah.
You know?
And wasn't she throwing subs too?
I forgot what, I wasn't like watching her story, so I don't know what she was exactly saying, because that's the thing, I'm not going to indulge in all of that. Like, my thing is, of course I'm going to be bothered, but after like a day or two, I'm going to really leave it be and let it be dead. And that's how it was for me. Like, after a day or two, it kept running through my mind, why would she just jump the gun like that? But I was just like, you know what? She decided to do that. This is what I needed to see, because as a friend, if my friend had unfollowed me, the first thing I would have did was like, hey, did you mean to do this? Was this an accident? People be using unfollowing apps. People use a lot of different things. I done had people on my social media and came across them again. I'm like, how am I not following you? That must have been some type of accident. You never know. You could have spoke. And the fact that you jumped the gun shows me that you weren't truly my friend. And then
you were waiting to do that.
You were waiting to do those kind of things. And after a week
You
later, you said nothing to me. Literally.
Because you didn't know me into it to begin with.
Like a week later, she wrote me, cussing me out at 2 a.m., telling me that I'm a weird bitch, and that's why I couldn't step to her and say nothing to her, and I'm a weirdo, and you know, this is why she don't fuck with bitches and this and that. And I was just like, so this is what makes you feel comfortable trying to curse me out a week later at 2 a.m. instead of you could have did this when it first happened, and we could have had a proper smooth conversation. You're still looking for an apology. This is a whole nother scenario where you think I'm gonna apologize to you, when no, I had to stand on my shit this time for real, because I'm like, no, why the fuck would I be apologizing to you when you could have spoke to me and we could have understood where each other was coming from? No.
It's giving battery in her back.
Yeah,
Sure.
It's ridiculous.
But what I'm confused about in situations like that too is like, how did you know?
That's another
Like,
thing.
what are
you
you
were
checking
looking
for?
for that.
Like,
You
you
were
feel me?
kind of looking
It's
for
given
that.
like they was on the
because
phone, they was talking about you, they was on your page.
you realize that in less than a day that I unfollowed your page. That's crazy. It's taken me days and weeks sometimes to realize that somebody's unfollowed me. You are searching for a problem when you realize that somebody unfollowed you. Like, that's very odd to
Like,
me.
what are you looking on my page for? Like,
You were checking to see if I like followed you and all that. Like, you had to have checked. You had to. Cause like, you can't even be using those unfollowing apps no more. They locking out your fucking Instagram.
oh, wow.
So you had to be checking for that in some type of way, and for you to be checking for that, that means you was looking for something to make your final dues with me with.
Yeah.
So I had to just come to a realization, like, people don't be your friend, and people be looking for an apology, and don't give that shit to them, especially if they don't deserve it. If you would have came to me like a woman, maybe I could have muted your page. After that, I did think, damn, I could have just muted her page. I could have, but it's like, also, you could have called me. We could have fucking spoke. We could have done
You
this
tried
differently.
to have the conversation.
You're my
with her.
hairstylist.
She never called you back.
Exactly. I literally said, you don't. Ooh,
Oh,
sorry,
shit.
name drop.
You
You
don't
gotta delete that. Sorry.
Let's call her trash. Let's take out the trash.
Right. I literally told you, wow, do you not sometimes think about what I was calling you to talk about? Do you not even think about that sometimes? Do you not even, like, does that not even cross your mind that I was calling you maybe to tell you why I did that? But guess what? The world may never motherfucking know. And that's what we gonna do.
And that's the shit that fucking hurts, because with friendships, relationships, anything, us as Capricorns, we always want our closure. I swear, we want the closure. Why did you do that weird shit? Why are you cropping me out of pictures? What did I do to you? Why did you unfollow me?
And
How
something
did you
that's
realize
very important
that I unfollowed you?
Nobody is entitled to closure.
And
You gotta get that
that's
shit
what I have,
yourself.
and that's what I have been learning. So
You
what
have
I
to leave
started
people
to
where
do,
they weird at.
exactly, leave people where they're weird at, and it's like, okay, I'm never gonna know, but feel me, I made up my mind in what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna stand in it. If I'm not fucking with you no more, I'm not fucking with you no more. And that's what I had to decide. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You know, I'm gonna be calling you to explain myself when you never fucking cared to even call me to understand my side
people,
story. Fuck you.
One thing that I learned is that if people not gonna tell you, they're gonna show you. They are gonna show you each and every time. Mm-hmm. You don't even have to ask no questions because somebody's gonna just show you how they feel about you. Mm-hmm. And I feel like if you have to question, they already showed you. Mm-hmm. You shouldn't even have to question. It's done. It's done. You're done.
Can we take a hookah break?
Hookah break is crazy.
Hookah.
But that's what's gonna cool you down.
Yeah. Layla, yeah.
All right, hold on.
She fuming. She wanna be steaming at the nose right now.
Oh, my story. How I lost my best friend. Well, I told the first story, the first episode of my first other friend. We're not even gonna revisit that story. I'ma just, I don't know, post it. Best friend or whatever. And I think this is very important to talk about because you kind of touched base on it, like about when like you're going through something and how your friends really respond to you. That really does make or break a friendship. And I went through a period where I was like really going through something. At the time, I was like 17, gonna be 18. My grandma was really sick. She was dying. That's kind of the long story short. And I was going through a lot of things. And I was 17. I was in my first little relationship at the time. Boys did him ting or whatever like that. Man, them cheated. So I lost my first boyfriend. In the course of a year, my grandmother died. I lost my first boyfriend, and I lost my best friend. And I was in a very traumatic situationship that I did not need to be in because I was in such a bad state of mind. And during all of that, I feel like I ended up basically not having that friendship anymore because she wasn't being a friend to me. But I feel like the difficult thing in that too is that I do believe that at the time she was going through her own stuff. Which is like, how do you deal with something in that sense where just like too like, I feel like she was dealing with her own stuff and didn't then know how to treat other people. Like, so she acts very like uncaring. Like if it wasn't about her or her situations or whatever she was going through. No, for real. Leather on leather. It's crazy. That's like, you know, like if it wasn't about her, then that was it. And it's just kind of like, I don't know. Sometimes I think about it, it's just like, should the friendship have ended because maybe we just were, it's like wrong time situation like that. But at the end of the day, like there was also some things that were done that's not forgiven. Like you can't ask me what's the after at my grandma's funeral. That's mad crazy.
That's it.
It's okay. It sounds like a person that
And don't say
detached from emotions.
And not even
sounds very
my
detached.
condolences, nothing.
It sounds
Grandmother
like she
fed
don't
you,
know.
make sure you was Gucci, had you in the crib.
It sounds like she don't know that there's a time and place for certain
She sound like
things.
some American ass.
There's a time
not.
and a place, literally.
She's very Caribbean.
But
Household very Caribbean.
you know what I was gonna say though? You said something about her not being a friend to you. My thing is, I got a question. Do you guys think that do you guys think that you should have to tell a friend what you need as a friend in a friendship, or do you think
can
they
read
should
your
know?
mind just like a man? They
Yeah,
can read your mind.
Like if you feel like your friend isn't giving you something that you know you want, I think that it's okay to voice that, and they'll let you know if they can give it to you or they can't, or you come to a compromise.
So what are some things that you guys feel like you need in a friendship for it to be successful? I'm
Loyalty.
sorry, Maya, I'm taking
No,
over your
you
job.
go ahead.
Loyalty, trust, compassion.
Loyalty, trust, and compassion.
Consistency.
That's iffy for me.
Yeah.
I like
Because I'm fine we're not talking all the
And
time.
it's crazy because I
I
feel
like
the same way.
consistency.
Consistency, because
Unless
I
you're like
feel
a
like-
surface level friend for me, if you're like a friend, I like consistency.
because
It's situational
for me, I feel like if it's kind of consistency is a big thing for me too, but to an extent, because I feel like if we're talking like every day for a week straight and then like 2 weeks go by and you don't speak to me,
That's
I'm gonna think that something's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But we can go a few days without speaking. We don't have to speak every day. You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Say, like,
Do you think something's wrong with them, or do you think something's wrong with your friendship?
like
The friendship.
the
Why?
friendship. Because
Because
it
the
seems
space,
like
the
you're moving
distance.
weird out of nowhere.
But
But
that's
why
you.
not something's wrong with
with
them?
them.
Like they're going through something. Why they don't
I
I
wanna
think
be
I'm
on
not
the
gonna
phone.
lie. It's and maybe
That's also
you
why
might
you
feel
have
some
to
type of way.
communicate, like,
I think
hey,
that
what's
that's
up?
selfish. I think that that's selfish. I think automatically thinking like, oh, nah, we gotta be beefing. Why?
I
What
have
if
to tell
I
my
am
homegirls that like this is
disgustingly depressed
this
right
is
now?
not about
Can
you,
you
babe.
communicate?
That's true.
And it's not about you.
it's not about
That's
you.
also why you gotta just check in, like, hey, is everything okay?
But
I
people
recently
don't
had
do
a
that.
situation like that where I was just like, hey, I called yesterday to follow up. Is everything okay? You didn't follow up with me. She was like, yeah, I'm alright. Didn't even talk about me following up with the call or nothing. Just, yeah, I'm alright. And that's when I'm just like,
Let me ask you a
like, what's
question.
going on right now?
Wait, I didn't get to answer.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. For me, definitely like someone who shows up for me. If I feel like I'm inviting you to things or events that I'm like planning and stuff like that, and you're not showing up, but you're showing up for other people time and time again, I'm gonna feel like it's personal.
Mm-hmm.
Like I told y'all, I take shit personal. So yeah, somebody who shows up for me, someone who is I can trust. I'm not trying to tell you my business and I hear that shit back because I'm gonna know exactly who the fuck said it.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's automatically
that's a
we
big
done.
Huh?
Automatically we done.
Yeah. That so
And I'm beating your skull.
hold on. So
Pink Whitney beating
what
me down.
did I say?
You said consistency.
Pink, what are you beating
No,
her down?
Consistency.
Crazy. She's slurring.
Showing up for you.
Showing up for me. Trust, loyalty, and
That's it.
yeah,
That's your big
that's
three.
it.
Yeah, that's the same.
Go
I
ahead.
don't. I already said
Way to shut me
loyalty,
up.
compassion, and trust.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't know.
sensitive. I need
very
compassion.
I need to
Mhm.
trust you, but like I said, tune into the first episode. I don't trust nobody. And what I mean by that to say is just like, no, like I don't think anybody's actions would really surprise me. Like I think that people can become different versions of themselves that they were not initially. You wouldn't befriend somebody that you automatically thought was a bad person.
I
I
watched
think-
a toxic relationship completely change a friend.
Bro.
Completely.
Like
She don't
and,
even know how to interact with people anymore.
and that's the thing too, because also what I feel like a lot of people forget is like you might know somebody, but you're not in their life. You're not in their life. You're not in their head. You have no idea. People literally that could be your best friend. You dead don't know anything besides what they tell you, or what they show you, or what they let you know. You have no idea what they're really going on, like what's going on mentally, physically, what other things going on in a relationship. Yo, your friend could be like, nah, like me and this nigga good. That nigga and her are not good. You can see them; they look good too, bro. They in the crib arguing. He doing
Fighting,
this and this and
thumping
that. Yeah, big domestic violence
God.
thing, and you would never know that because people only show you like what it is, and then okay, now say she stopped talking to you for a little bit. You gonna think it's because y'all beefing? Because last time you checked the relationship good, nah, bro. Shorty got a black eye. She's stressed. You
And
would never know.
that
But you're
goes into
assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that goes into my question for literally both of you.
Mhm.
If you have a friend, you know, and like for 2 weeks, let's even go to a month. For a month straight, y'all on the phone every day. Like whether it be in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the nighttime, you're on the phone every day for like an hour. You know, you guys are texting throughout the day. And then after the month, a week goes by and the texts are delayed, they're not really calling you, or you're calling them and they're like, I'm gonna call you back. And you know, you have it in your head like, wow, the friendship fell off or whatever the case may be. But they're really going through something mentally.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, you call them and you're just like, hey, are you okay? Is everything okay? And she's like, yeah, I'm good. But the behavior continues. And then let's say another week passes, and then they reach out to you like, hey, when I told you that I was okay, I wasn't. I was going through blah, 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 blah. Is that grounds for you to forgive them, or are you going
Of
to?
course, yeah.
Of course,
Okay.
people.
Because
Go
sometimes
through
people are
their
not
own
ready
shit.
to just come out and say
Yeah.
things.
I think you said
There's
of course
some
too
people
fast.
No,
There's some
of
people
course.
that
No,
will
I think
not.
you said of
You
course
have to
too
be
fast.
able to
There's some
understand the
people
I do
different
think you said of
lines.
course too fast because
Like
I think
literally, I had
initially
blew up on a
it's
friend
the truth,
just
though.
this week that did that. She was like, "Oh, I'm alright," and I was just like, "You know what? You've done this to me before. I'm tired of getting my hopes up with you. You start to feel like a man, like just like getting me all close to you, and then being like, yeah, bitch, back up.'
but
And
is it
then I
because
just
she had
blocked on
something going
everything.
on?
And then she
Why?
texted me from a text-free number like, "Are you serious tonight?" Like you, because I just got tired of
But
expressing how I
why?
felt. Like I just got tired. Like this is not the first time in the friendship where I just felt like she was just on some like, 1 minute she's with me, and next minute she's gone.
'Cause she's
And
not
I was
okay.
Why
like,
not accept people for what they are?
Exactly.
Like, this is the type of
I
friend that
didn't
she
know
is.
that's what she was until we had that whole conversation.
And you had a
I blocked her,
conversation
and she was just
about
like,
it.
I don't really like texting
But wait,
people. I don't like calling
Did
people.
you already
I
realize
made
it was
those
a pattern?
compromises. Not really. Like my thing was the first time we kind of fell off and I didn't know why and I didn't investigate why. It was like when we were younger and it wasn't a bad falling out. Then as like a couple years later, I was like, yo, bro, I really miss you. I don't know why we fell off. And she was like, yo, I miss you too. And then we ended up introducing each other back to our lives. For 3 days straight, we hung out for 3 days straight. We were on the phone. And then like after that, it was like a week of like silence. And I was just like,
How did our conversation go though that you guys had after the blocking?
After the blocking, it was like a long and lengthy conversation of her just really voicing how she is, that she doesn't enjoy being on the phone and texting and talking to people. She says she's more of an in-person person than anything, and that's more of her vibe. And like she says that she thought I understand her, and I was like, babe, I just got back into your life after 3 to 4 years. I didn't even understand why we fell off the first time. If you're this type of person, you need to tell me that. She was like, oh, but I understand that you're an only child and that you're sometimes clingy. I told her I'm clingy. Like, you have to tell me where to meet you at. If you would have told me this, I would have known to barely call you, maybe just only hit you up with plans to go out sometimes. You have to let me know. Let Lanaya know. Because I can... Like, if you're not telling me these things, how do you just expect me to just know you? Your other friends have consistently been in your life. I am now rejoining your life.
Honestly,
You spent 3 days on the phone with me for over an hour each day, and you did that for me? Why would you ever? You did not have to do that for me. You could have simply told me where to meet you at, and that would have been fine. Don't compromise those kind of things and do those kind of things, because look, now I'm looking for those kind of things from you.
I don't think that's fair though. I don't think that's fair though, because I think that she felt like she would then not. She was
trying to meet me halfway, but not really telling me that she was doing the most to meet me halfway. Like, I can't even acknowledge what you're doing because you're not telling me that this makes you uncomfortable.
But then you're not gonna even really want to, because in your mind it's just like, I know you don't really want to do this, but she's trying to be a good friend, and she's trying to be like, I know this is what you want, so this is what I'm trying to give you. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like,
I get it, and I see both sides, and I hated that like I blew up like that. But sometimes that's just what happened, and I was just like, I just let it be. Like, I was like, we don't have to like go back to being friends. I already know that I did the most, and I'm just gonna learn from this. And like, if I make any new friends, I'm gonna ask them like, what do you look for in a friend? What do you want from a friend? Because I feel like we really just did not understand what we really didn't understand what we both wanted. It could have worked if I understood better, and I just got so much in my feelings about it, and I just blew up. Like, I really realized.
But that's why I think that it's important to like be forgiving as well. Like, you were looking at it from your perspective and she was looking at it from her perspective. Nobody was really wrong in the situation. It was just a miscommunication.
And she ended up telling me what she was going through, and she was just like, yo, like, I was gonna call you. I'm literally in the hospital right now with my blah blah blah. I was gonna call you. I didn't want to talk about it at the moment. It was literally one of those situations. And like, impatient Renaya was just like, in my bag.
And you felt like shit after.
In my bag. Of course, and that's why when we
I
had
do
that
think
whole...
y'all move too fast. Capricorns move too fast.
We do. When we
Before
had...
you could let a situation simmer. Let this simmer.
And that's why I did apologize multiple times, and I was like, yo, I also wanted to make it clear. I didn't do this for attention. I didn't do this. I didn't even think you was gonna write me from a text free. Like, I did that. I thought you was just gonna... I thought she was gonna leave it alone. So I was just like, I appreciate you for writing me. That's how I know she cares. A lot of motherfuckers would have just been like, this girl just blocked me on everything. Girl, you did too much. You did too much. Straight up. You did too much. And she didn't. She decided to write me.
I love
that.
And
we heard each other out, and I was like, yo, I hope everything is good, and I really wish you the best. And I think maybe we just really different. Not to say that I can't be with people, friends with people who want their space, but we just kind of started off on the whole wrong foot and the whole like block, and I was just like,
but it's also okay.
Kind of hard to come back from.
It's also okay if that's not the friendship that you want. Like, if you're not okay with talking to your friend, I don't know, every couple of days, like, it's okay for you to decide that that's not what you want to.